form. What was your reaction when you saw that we had Benjamin Netanyahu on the Full
Well,
Swing podcast?
I didn't know about what's. I am sorry to say, like because I'm not your demographic, so I didn't know who the Nelk Boys is. But like I found my DMs exploding. It's like, did you see what the Nelk Boys did? It's like, who the fuck are the Nelk Boys? And then I didn't know that you're that big. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not your targeted demography, so I apologize for my ignorance. So and then I started following what's going on and the aftermath. And being in the public eye for 15 years, I understand what does it mean to be in a very tough situation, and now having to trying to crawl out of that situation. It's difficult, especially with the backlash, because the bigger you are, the bigger the backlash. And well, I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of people when they knew that I'm on the podcast, like, yeah, go there, do them, have them. And I said, like, there's nothing to gain from just canceling people without knowing what went wrong, because I think it is better to actually to learn from what's happening and look at the bigger picture instead of just like destroying two young people like you, because that doesn't serve anybody, right?
This was eye-opening, truthfully. I really like the way Bassem behaved himself. He didn't really come in to bash anyone.
It makes people happy that you guys are falling, but the bigger picture is, why did this happen, and why was this were you used? A part of you is your responsibility, and part of you not knowing. So I heard many of the justification that happened, saying that well, it was a great opportunity, and I'm like, wouldn't you like get him on the podcast? I said, yes. If somebody told me, would you interview Netanyahu? I was like, hell yeah, but I'll be prepared. And I think the biggest part of you that you were not prepared. 2 years under like the biggest genocide in our history, you guys had no idea what's going on. If somebody told me, hey, you're gonna be tomorrow on the starting five of the Lakers in the NBA, I was like, that's a great opportunity, but I'm not prepared. I'm not going to make a fool out of myself. So it's not about you platforming someone or someone giving a chance for like free speech. You were used, right? And it didn't start with the podcast. It started 2 years ago in March 2023 when you went to Israel, because I know, like I told you, that the Israel has increased their Hasbara budget, which is their propaganda machine, with $150 million, and part of that money goes to influence people in college campuses, hire influencers like you, getting them into fancy trips to Israel, giving them this filtered, layered picture that is made up, that is fake. I mean, I watched it yesterday, and I was cringing not because like you're showing how cool Israel is, or they have nightclubs.
You're saying our Nelk video in
Yeah,
Israel?
yeah. So, because when the part when you mentioned Palestine, do you remember? We're going to a place that is so dangerous now. Palestine. And then you are in a bus, and then like special forces come in and kidnap you, and this kind of like IDF simulation, counterterrorism, and then they're telling you, we have a dog that only breeded in Israel. It can kill a man. And you understand that like the kind of psychopathic behavior of a country that like tells you like part of its like tourist attraction that we're killing terrorists and we're breeding dogs to kill human beings. And by the way, I don't know, part of the anger is like just last year there was like a kid with autism and Down syndrome that was killed by one of these dogs. And then the next scene is, let's go and see Palestinian family. And the only Palestinian family in this video are just like a bunch of Bedouins in a tent, a guy who's married 2 wives, and he tells you, my whole life is about camels and goats and chicken. And then you find like a 60 years old one, I just live on pita bread and milk. So even if October 7th didn't happen, you were used in a propaganda machine to tell people this is what you need to know about Palestinians. They're just like a bunch of people with cows and goats marrying two people, living in a tent, happy with the pita bread and milk. So you were recruited in March 2023, and you were activated in July 2025, right? So, and I'm saying this because I'm saying this out there for all of the influencers around there, because there's a lot of people got backlash. There's influencers who went there like wearing IDF It's like, we didn't know what we're going on. Like you, it's like, I didn't know I'm kissing a Jewish wall.
I mean, yeah,
It makes sense. After all, it's not the first time he's confronting other people on the internet. You need to see him when he's talking to Piers Morgan. So it's very enlightening. That's the first thing. And the second thing I might add is
I can definitely admit that. I mean, I think we were both just ignorant to what was going on over there. And obviously, you know, I knew he was, I'll be honest, I thought he was controversial, but I was definitely ignorant to what was going on in that area. And I can
Yes.
admit that. And it was definitely, I wish we could have gone back and,
Yeah.
you know, had 2 weeks to sit down with someone like yourself and just, we should have grilled him 50,000, 100,000 times harder, but
Yeah.
something we can't get back. And we'll probably always
Of,
regret
of
that,
course, but I know you can't get back this like trip in Israel, but I'm just telling you, this was like part of a much bigger propaganda effort, right? And a country that spends $150 million on its image, they are covering something. They when they spread all of these propaganda, it's like, we're not starving people in Gaza. You understand that this conversation has been happening for 2 years. First of all, I'm not absolving you from your trip. You guys are not little kids. You are fucking 30 years old, right? People in your age have families and they have a career, and you need to stop. I'm just saying this because you're my little brothers, but you're not little,
No.
right? You need to stop infantilizing yourself. It's like, we're just stupid people doing stupid stuff. You're 30 years old and you need to be aware of what's happening in the world, and that your reach and your platforms mean something and it affects people. And I think the biggest reason why people were so upset for you, not because you brought someone and you didn't contest him, that it is the talking point that he used is the same talking points that have been used for 2 years to kill thousands of people, right?
I did not know is not really an excuse. You cannot say I did not know, I did not pay attention, and then hope for the world to behave as if that's an excuse. It is not. So that's the thing I'm going to tell the Nelk boys. Even though once you get the opportunity to interview a head of state, it's very appealing, it's very tempting. But sometimes you need to do your research. Why are they looking for you in particular? Or do you just want to make a quick cash? That's the thing you need to ask yourself.
So, I mean, and part of part of the reason why people were so angry is that, forget even if you don't know anything about the conflict, there was like a total lack of critical thinking. I mean, you guys asked him the one good question when you told him in October 7th, how could this be allowed to happen? Everybody knowing that Mossad is like a crazy, intelligent thing that infiltrates people and put bombs in pages. How did you not see that coming? But also, a critical thinking is, how come an attack was allowed for 6 hours in the most heavily surveilled part in the world? You understand, like in 2019, they killed like hundreds of people just because they approached the wall between Gaza and Israel. You understand? They killed. You have like copters, like drones. You have snipers. Suddenly, for 6 hours, you remember what Netanyahu told me? How big is Israel? You told me it's like as big as Rhode Island.
As Jersey, right?
Yeah, like it. You understand the distance between Gaza and Tel Aviv is 44 miles. You understand that, like, he was just bragging to you that, like, hey, we went across 3 countries to bomb Iran. And that's why I didn't want this to be another beating. I just wanted this to be a cautionary tale for people being used on the internet by Israel. That is actually the bigger picture here.
A gentleman and a good guy. And
Yeah, you see, the Israeli crowd is effectively protesting for the right to rape. They were so mad that people telling them you should not rape prisoners in custody. This is fucking crazy. This is how sick those people are. Dude, I just want to get out of it. I don't want to have anything to do with this anymore. I feel for you, man. You haven't slept
Really
for
hard
days.
space to step into.
Yeah, you haven't slept for days, right?
No.
Yeah. No, but like it is. I understand that, like, all of your life you've been told something. I mean, you were telling me something that I found it very weird. It's like, thank you, being very nice, sitting with me. When I'm Jewish, it's like, dude, you've been told all your life that you're being hated because you're a Jew. That it has nothing to do with you being Jewish, right? It is like you have been brainwashed for so many years to make you not see any way forward other than siding with those people. Again, those people, and like many Jewish people would tell you, they've been using your identity, using your religion to advance a very genocidal, evil policy.
For Bassem, I like the way he handled himself. He behaved like a real elder brother or like a real father in the space of the whole thing, because in other person's shoes, like the backlash the Nelk boys were getting like 2 weeks ago after the interview with uh, BB came out, if it was somebody in the same shoes, they might have been very, very defensive. Though he brought in receipts, but he didn't come to preach. He just came to enlighten them in such a way that next time when something like that happens, you can better understand the situation. The way he talked about it, it didn't leave the opportunity for the neck boys to go into a defensive position. They gave them time to really think, listen, and understood what they went wrong. And yeah, I really like the interview. I really liked it, but let's see if it's going to make any changes in the future. That's it from us here at the Hypocrite. At least we just hope that it's not going to continue on the same front with the Nelk boys. Peace out.